Navanag, please. With only limited toddlerese proficiency, I need to ask. Another one what? Please! Thinking I'm playing the politeness game, my child stares as if to say, I said please, now gimme! I remain confused. Do you want something to eat? With a headshake, my kid points down. Another ugh! Did you drop something? My child replies with frustration. Time to focus. What could another one ugh mean? Another indicates this isn't something new. One specifies a single item, not a great number of things, so the seemingly redundant another one might suggest reasonableness. Or perhaps the key to interpretation is the pronoun clarification sentence structure, as in, I want some, the food, or give me it, the toy. A noun delivered after its pronoun serves as emphasis. This usage implies meaning should be clear from context. We are in a park. My child is pointing at the ground. Finally, I remember once pointing out a creature here. My child confirms another one ugh means make that creature appear again. This request assumes I can use the powers of being a grown-up to conjure up wild animals at will. I can't. This demand seems unreasonable. Yet, parenting advice to avoid tantrums suggests thinking of what is possible, instead of reflexively saying no. With all our gear, I don't want to search for a specimen. I lack paper on hand to sketch the critter. Finding a suitable book would take time. After exhausting the kinds of options available to previous generations of parents, I consider the gadget in my pocket. I hesitate. Experts say youngsters should not have screen time. But I reason this is educational. With a few taps, I procure a video of a slug that satisfies my kid. When I was a kid, a world where a non-specialist, such as a child, could casually enjoy computers for ordinary activities was strictly make-believe. Within a generation, requesting videos on demand is possible. Modern devices even enable ordering things online. But they can't procure wild animals in the twinkling of an eye. Not yet. Humanity has been taking baby steps toward automating goods delivery for some time. Our predecessors toyed with sending objects in pneumatic tubes. Engineers are currently applying newly acquired computer and robotic skills to supply chain management. Online shopping is growing rapidly. By the time today's kids are parents, they could have even more ways to meet toddler demands. Maybe automated trucks or robots will deliver goods. Or perhaps computers overhearing babble will decipher the toddler dialect and dispatch product-carrying drones to hover around demanding attention in hopes of making a sale. Such futuristic pop-up ads could be annoying, wasteful, and dangerous. Without proper supervision, computerized goods management systems could make a big mess. Shipments sent with the waste avoidance efforts of a potty trainee who comically overestimates the amount of toilet tissue required to wipe a small bottom. Orders delivered in a big stink of pollution. Unwanted products discarded, like a toddler bored with a toy. Bad design could encourage hyperconsumption, causing hyper-waste that leads to hyper-emissions. However, the time to discuss whether or not to birth the idea of computers managing goods is long past. The gestation period ended when barcodes appeared on products. This bundle of possibilities is here and thriving. The technology is still in its infancy. Ignoring its development risks raising trouble. Alternatively, with suitable guidance, this technology could mature into a new type of internet, an internet to manage goods properly. Imagine fully automated online deliveries. A high-tech postal service transports goods not only with driverless drones and delivery bots, but mainly via utility tunnels. This new internet handles actual packages, like the original internet moves data packets. Users send items like email, share stuff like posting on social media, and acquire goods like downloading. This service could make a walk in the park more of a walk in the park. A stranger can easily return a lost item. Caregivers can summon food for a hungry child. Ordering on demand can free people from packing excessively. Eccentric parents and old-fashioned grandparents can acquire books and art supplies as needed. And perhaps humane policies will restrict children from ordering wild animals on a whim. Humanity could nurture this technology with future generations in mind, like parents instilling values such as politeness and appreciation of nature in their offspring. Engineers could install attributes like sustainability and fairness into their designs. The system could run on clean energy. Algorithms could reduce waste by selecting reusable packaging, automating recycling, and distributing unwanted items to where they are most needed. Data could help individuals, organizations, and policymakers reduce emissions. In some climate projections, going outside becomes dangerous. Creatures that delight today's children die off. Climate chaos disrupts meeting even basic demands. How can we use the powers of being grown-ups to avoid a climate meltdown? Some polluters propose maintaining polluting behavior, but somehow without the pollution. Put unwanted items in recycling bins instead of garbage bags. Drive electric cars instead of gas guzzlers. Upgrade appliances to energy-efficient models. Switch power sources from fossil fuels to renewables. Such thinking about what is possible seems meager. These kinds of politically safer solutions aim to minimize disruption, but come with risks. They aren't reducing emissions fast enough, nor do they seem sufficiently aggressive to eliminate emissions. Of course, we should pursue conventional solutions. We should also consider disruptive options. When asked to give up fossil fuels, polluters sometimes behave like toddlers accustomed to diapers being asked to pause play and try the toilet. They don't want to change their emission habits. They don't care that others must clean up their mess. They don't want to be lectured. People who have done things one way for their entire lives can struggle to even imagine a new approach. Expecting to avoid change on climate shares a temperament with a child who doesn't understand a demand is unreasonable. Yet arguing, reasoning, and pleading might not result in forming better habits. When generations of scientific analysis, professional reports, and formal policy proposals haven't changed behavior, polluters might need the equivalent of educational videos advertised as fun, role play of essential information with stuffies, and earnest declarations that their favorite characters definitely go potty. As with parenting, the key to changing behavior is to try, keep trying, and try different approaches. Reflexively saying no to new ideas is not a problem-solving mindset for success. Approaching problem-solving playfully with a child's mind might lead to insight. Imagining living without emitting could plant ideas in minds that grow up to be useful. I want to share a new approach to living sustainably. Expressing my thoughts on internet as a climate solution, I feel the frustration of a toddler unable to communicate. I rage at the lack of climate solutions. I point out trends. I explain most emissions come from mismanaging goods. Internet technology is ideal for goods management. The existing internet could create more internet. I think this is clear, but people often respond with confusion. So you mean like the Internet of Things? I do not. This book is not about things accessing the internet, but internet technology that manages things. I try to clarify, I mean another type of internet with descriptive terms like internet transport or internet for goods management. But then I complicate matters by suggesting an internet for information, an internet for energy, and an internet for transport could combine to form a super internet that could one day be called just internet. Technical nomenclature is confusing, like learning a new language. But people figured out the many nuanced terms for the first internet, like web, online, and cyberspace. Once, a phone was a phone, and a camera was a camera, and a personal digital assistant could be dismissed as a gimmick. Before it evolved into a smartphone, referring to the concept with descriptive terms like personal digital assistant made some sense. When most people had only known landline telephones, they would have found the notion of taking a photo with a phone that is also a computer quite a stretch of the imagination. I want to stretch your imagination. A generation of internet development ushered a science fiction concept into reality. Scientists estimate humanity has about a generation to eliminate emissions to avoid serious consequences. Shouldn't we apply the most advanced technology of our era to the biggest challenges of our era? An internet to manage goods might seem unreasonable now, but it is not unprecedented. Humanity already has one internet, another one is possible. Discussing options for the next internet is a conversation worth having. Internet's future is nebulous. One thing is clear. It is happening. The internet.